Welcome back to another episode of Unapologetically Accurate Podcast. I am your host, Jerry Lee.
Co-host, I'm Luke.
And in today's episode, Luke has seen The Odyssey by Christopher Nolan. I have not seen it, so this is mostly going to be his thoughts. But after his review, we're going to go into some things we like about Christopher Nolan movies and some things that I dislike, at least, about his movies.
So
I'm pretty sure you have some nitpicks.
there's going to be some retrospective. I mean, you have the idea of the biggest nitpick that I got. If not, we're going to remind you, and the audience here is going to know, our couple. Anyway,
All right, so let's go ahead and get into it.
do you want me to do spoilers, or do you want me to ease into spoilers? What do you think?
But yeah, so just talk about your overall thoughts of the movie and things like that, and then we'll make a disclaimer when the spoilers are happening.
Okay, fair enough, man. So, I got to be honest. Stick to my guns.
Oh, hold on. This is the biggest Christopher Nolan fan I know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, I was about to say. I was worried you were gonna be over the top.
He is the biggest Christopher Nolan fan that I have ever seen in person. Okay, and now I've seen quite a few Christopher Nolan movies in theaters. I have no interest in seeing The Odyssey, just because the only reason I would see it is because it was Christopher Nolan. The story itself, don't care. The cast, I don't like. If I see Zendaya in another movie this year, I might put a bullet through my brain.
It might be this December.
No, it won't. What's coming out in December? Spider-Man?
Dune. Actually, I take that back.
No, I don't care about Dune.
Oh, okay.
I saw the original 80s one and never watched the new ones.
All right, well,
I don't care about Dune.
All right. So, we talked about in our earlier episodes, sticking to our guns. I have to be honest. I respect Christopher Nolan as a filmmaker. He has entertained me over the years. I gotta be honest. And this is legit. I'm seeing these perfect scores come for this movie. It is insane what I'm seeing. It's got a higher Rotten Tomato score than The Dark Knight.
So my user or
I think it's critics.
Okay.
So that's always debatable. That website is always debatable.
Yeah.
But my overall tally, score-wise, on a scale of 1 through 10 after watching The Odyssey, is going to be in the ballpark of a 6 to maybe a 6.5 out of 10. This film is beautifully shot. I enjoy practical effects. He's always gung-ho about staying away from visual effects. He delivers with that.
You mean digital effects?
Digital effects, yeah. But he did do the practical effects, for like the Cyclops. Like it was an actual built, puppet basically. Nolan, this right here, and I got to see his earlier works like Memento and Insomnia still. This might be my least favorite film. Actually, I'm going to say this is my least favorite film of Christopher Nolan. When I was seeing all these incredible scores, these near perfect scores coming out, I was like, especially with controversy aside, I was like, there's no way. And I watched it with a very good friend of mine. We saw it in RPX, and we're watching it. Visually, it's a spectacle at times. It is very beautiful to look at. There are some great sequences in that movie that are a thrill. You have a good time. It's what makes even going to an IMAX or an RPX even more fun, especially with him going above and beyond filming with, IMAX cameras and stuff like that. Again, edge of your seat moments. The length, because of the pacing, the editing, destroyed that movie for me. I know that story because I studied it in school, and I was asking even some of our friends had they, know the story, where they ever.
And that's why I'm not interested in seeing the movie, is because I know the story too, and it's just like, eh.
And I'm gonna go a step above and beyond. It's his most unnecessary film. I gotta live up to our name. Again, I gave the man his flowers at the start. fantastic guy, filmmaker who knows what he's doing. He's very creative. He's still kind of pioneering new ideas into cinema. Again, filming an entire movie with IMAX cameras. I cannot imagine how much stress that must endure because some cameras are giant. They're huge. Look them up.
Yeah, they had to build a whole bubble rig to surround the camera just to keep it from interfering with the audio.
And I'm sure that spiked the budget up also because that equipment must have been insane for a dollar amount. Again, there's things to like. Matt Damon, I know you're not the biggest fan of Matt Damon's performances. And I'll be honest with you. My favorite Matt Damon performance for a long time was The Departed. If you hate an actor, like their character, while you're watching a movie, that means they did their job.
They did a good job.
Yeah, and that was The Departed. He was a scumbag throughout that film. But man, he delivered. That was my favorite performance for a long time. The Odyssey might have topped that. He was really good. He was really, really good in that. The whole Warrior's Regret, that adventure, the theme of it is good. Half that cast is amazing, and half that cast is just, it's questionable. Or it's just not great. So, Anne Hathaway is hit and miss for me. There are times where she shines, and there are times where I'm just like, I don't really care. I'm not saying she's bad. It's just, again, like Interstellar, that's where she shined. She was fantastic. Another Nolan film. That's probably my favorite Christopher Nolan film.
I forgot she was in Interstellar.
Yeah, that is a fantastic film, man. I love that movie to death. I'm not a chick flick guy, so I'm not gonna watch The Devil Wears Prada and stuff like that. But
don't let him play. He watched it twice last week.
Tom Holland. Is he ever gonna have a big boy role? Is he ever gonna have a role where he is a man? Because it just seems like he's playing a teenager this whole movie. There was never like there's a 20-year time jump. He's supposed to be a grown man, and I'm looking at him like he's a 14-year-old the whole time because
you think they should have switched actors when they did the time jump?
That would have probably he's got like this Michael Cera thing going on. You know what I'm saying?
Perpetually young.
Uncharted. You cannot say that was the perfect Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
Not trying to detour. Robert Pattinson, probably the best working actor today. He's in my top 5 best working actors today, along with Defoe, Giancarlo Esposito. Oh yeah, it's fantastic and everything. Robert Pattinson has come a long way. And I'm going to tell you right now, anyone who's still hating on this man, from him playing a very sparkly vampire, get over it. This dude has put out some banger performances since Good Time, and moving forward, he's been killing it. And yes, this isn't a hot take. The Batman is the best Batman film I have ever seen. It felt like a true comic book come to life.
Well, it was the most Batman we had ever gotten in a movie. Period. Like there is more screen time for Batman in that one movie than we had in 3 Christopher Nolan movies. Combined. 3 of his movies combined.
So yeah, side note, I'm getting a little impatient with the Batman Part 2 getting delayed because I'm ready for it. I am ready for this movie. The Penguin, fantastic. Let's get back on topic.
Yeah, let's go back to the Odyssey.
Yes. So Lupita Nyong'o is on the poster, and I think I would say she barely has 5 minutes of screen time. It wouldn't surprise me if it was 3 minutes at that. I'll be honest with you, all due respect to her, I like Lupita Nyong'o as a actress. I think Leguizamo should have been on the poster. I think he had more screen time than her, and he was really good in this movie. I like John Leguizamo. John Bernthal, he always delivers. He's good. I didn't mind Charlize Theron. Zendaya.
I didn't even know Theron was in it.
Yeah, she's in it. Barely any screen time. Zendaya, barely in it on the poster.
Thank God.
And we have who's the end of the movie? I really don't want to take my phone out because I know it's with Zendaya and there's like an and. Slipping my mind. Yeah, and I've seen the movie.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
I just half that cast.
Oh, Elliot Page.
barely 3 minutes of screen time. Yeah. I don't even know if
How were they in the movie?
I don't even know if Ellie is even on the poster. I don't even know if the name is even on the poster. Because they literally, it's crazy that the controversies and nitpicks were like the biggest thing about it. Yet there was little screen time for those characters. So that's all I'm gonna say.
So you think they used the controversy on purpose? Or?
I have no idea. I don't know who this casting director is because half this cast is really talented, and the other half I just don't really care for.
You don't think Nolan was just like, hey, I want this person?
I mean, he has that pull.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He has that pull. I could see a let's be honest. Elliot was in the Umbrella Academy. Was there any movies that came out where that face was the front and center on a poster?
Inception.
I'm talking Elliot, not Ellen.
Current.
I don't recall any movies where Elliot Page was front and center on. So
maybe a streaming show, but not a movie.
Oh yeah, and that was like Umbrella Academy. Yeah. I haven't seen no other project. Lupita Nyong'o, she's working, she's constant. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably Nolan being a fan of her work. And again, rightfully so. She's an Oscar winner. She is talented. I do like her as an actress. I don't think she's ugly like some people make her out to be. But I'm being fair. She's not my ideal pick for a Helena Troy.
I don't think she's the embodiment of beauty like Helena Troy is supposed to be.
I think a perfect embodiment of Helena of Troy would have been Ana de Armas. Ana de Armas, I'd have been fine with, big fan of Sydney Sweeney. That right there, that would have made sense for 1,000. Listen, I'm spitting facts, man. That would cause 1,000 ships to go out and fight for that. You know what I'm saying? Look, you're shaking your head because you know it's true. He knows it's true. But back to the movie. Praise the visuals, the effort. Some of the performances are really good.
Well, hold on. Go back to the visuals. So you're giving the visuals praise. Everything is shot like in frame. There's no shaky cam.
There's a few moments for the intensity. That's
one of my big nitpicks in movies.
Yeah, for the intensity. Like, and I'll go into spoilers. I mean, it's not spoilers for you because you know the story, but the score is solid. I'll be honest, I miss Hans Zimmer. I gotta say, man, the pacing and editing is what ruined it for me. That's why I can't praise Dunkirk, because Dunkirk, although it's a good movie, the editing of how it was done, how it was all over the place. Even Zach, who's a friend of mine, who's seen it, we saw Dunkirk together for the first time, like right before I left to come to South Carolina. Mm-hmm. He saw it and he was like, "What is this?" He's like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Yeah."
This is another movie of Nolan that jumps around timeline-wise.
And I prefer a movie like sometimes where it's just chapter. Even if it's an anthology, but it tells one story, that would have been better. And that's what I want from Dunkirk. I want Dunkirk edited where it's like Sin City, a chapter. Even though there's no crossing paths, I'm fine with that. That would have been really, really, really helpful. I think all in all, that ruined the movie for me. That movie jumps all over the place. And it's just one of those things that a 3-hour runtime, the original Odyssey that I saw that was the made for TV with Armand Assante, that was 2 parts, ran total for 3 hours. Have I seen that from beginning to end as an adult? No. Did I see pieces of it in school when I was growing up? Yes. It's got me curious of watching that to see if that tells a more cohesive story. And
if I remember correctly, it jumps around a little bit, but I think it's only like maybe one time it goes to the past and then it goes to present again.
And be honest with you, and if you didn't feel that way, be my guest to talk about it anywhere. Comments, it ruined it for me. It did. Again, half that cast, I got to subtract some tally there because, again, it was just Tom Holland. It's like he's supposed to be in his 20s, and it just felt like, again, like a 13, 14-year-old, 15-year-old at the oldest. You don't take him seriously. There's no, you know what I'm saying? He gets ragdolled throughout later on in the movie like a little boy. It's just like, man, you want to be king? Come on, man. I can't take that seriously.
So I don't even know what character he's playing in the movie.
He's Odysseus' son.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's a little awkward with this movie, and you're seeing like even Nolan, but he's the director. Of course, you're gonna give flowers to your casting crew. You know what I'm saying? And rightfully so. I understand that you might have had a great time working with them. If I wasn't impressed, I wasn't impressed. That's how I look at it as. So I'm taking points away from certain things from the cast that was presented, and the pacing and editing was just rotten, in my opinion. I experienced this with Dunkirk. Dunkirk is like a 7 for me. If that editing was better, it might have been one of the best movies I've seen from Nolan. But because of that, I can't give it praise like I want to. I got to stick to my guns, man. It's that movie, The Odyssey. It's a 6 out of 10 for me. Score solid. Musical score solid. Some of the cast shines, visually beautiful, cinematography beautiful, shot really good, very creative on the visual side.
Nothing too dark when it doesn't need to be.
No, I think it stands out really good. Yeah. There's a scene that I'll explain later. Hopefully, I don't forget. That's very big.
Well, let's go ahead and explain it now. Go ahead.
Here's the disclaimer right now. The scene where it's essentially Hades in a sense. It's on a beach and it's like black sand. It is gorgeous where they filmed this at. And Elliot has a scene there, and Benny Safdie speaks there. Benny Safdie is the one with the really cool looking armor. He's already dead, and they explain how his fate was met and whatnot. But yeah, that's probably one of the darkest scenes in the movie, if not the cave with the Cyclops and whatnot. But the Cyclops,
that's intentional.
It makes sense. It's
not the whole movie being dark.
That beach with the black sand, it's gloomy, but it's everything you can see. So yeah, I got to give that props right there. To me, Nolan, I don't know what made him go with this. Had he taken this cast and made something entirely different, as long as it was a coherent story from A, B, C, not A to F to C, then to B, you know what I'm saying? It had been that, I'd have been A-okay with that. I wouldn't have to worry about the cast also with, the controversy with Lupita being Helen of Troy and stuff like that. Again, it was under 5 minutes of screen time, so I didn't complain like how the internet just was ready to just implode with that. It was a little weird, you know what I'm saying? Because I was just like, Ana de Armas is right there,
So my biggest thing with her being cast as Helen of Troy is, why do they disfigure her?
Yeah, that also added fuel to the fire, because John Bernthal, he goes in and says like, oh, well, maybe the space launches only 500 ships, something like that. And I'm just like, you just made this worse for the fan base to nitpick this scene. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got some people that have been saying some really crazy comments, but now they're really going to crack jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, or say some mean comments. I don't know what the hell was the point of that, in my opinion. Again, I think it's his most unnecessary film. I can't think of anything else.
He said he wanted to make it for don't take this the wrong way, a modern audience. Basically, he wanted to do a modern version of it because it had been so long since anyone had even done a version of it for like a big Hollywood production.
For me, he did, because looking back at that dialogue too, some of that dialogue was modern.
That's one of the things I wanted to talk about. Is like
dad, mom, like
their modern vernacular that they were using. Was that off-putting? Because it feels like at the very least you should be speaking with proper English.
Yeah, because to me,
not necessarily accents, but like
exactly though. I know what you're saying. Proper wording for that time, at least, mother, father.
I mean, obviously they're not going to be speaking Greek, because
just look at that cast.
Who exactly? Like, who in that cast is going to speak Greek?
Yeah, exactly. See, that's why I appreciate like Robert Eggers. Robert Eggers is a brilliant filmmaker. Yeah, natural lighting, and it's dark, but you can see what's going on. He writes everything for the period of time that it was represented.
Well, hell, even like Mel Gibson using indigenous people and having them speak their language for his movies.
Yeah, Apocalypto.
Yeah, it's like The Odyssey could have been that if he
And
really wanted to be accurate.
Passion, I'm gonna assume Passion also because you know,
Well, there's some Hebrew in it, yeah.
yeah, you know, Mel Gibson again, another one. I don't think it's enough credit for that. And he wrote it.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan wrote this movie.
I know. Well,
And it makes me.
I think he did a screenplay based off of someone else's version of the Odyssey, someone else's interpretation of the Odyssey. It's some female writer. I can't think of her name, but that's the version he chose to make the script on.
She didn't get no credit in the credits when they were rolling.
I think she did.
I didn't see it. I just saw Homer.
That's the big thing for me is like this is not Homer's Odyssey. This is Christopher Nolan and whatever that translation was.
And I get it. People are going to be, well, it's fantasy. That's fine. But
I'm not saying cast every white person you've ever seen in this movie.
Exactly, because like I said with Leguizamo, he was really good. Yeah. Leguizamo, I believe he's Puerto Rican, maybe with a dash of something else.
He might be the least Greek person in this entire cast.
But he was acting pretty good for what he did, and I was surprised to see him casted. I'm giving him props. He was really, really good in this. Like you said, we don't need a all white cast, but at least give us the proper grammar. The armor was a little weird. Like it looked cool. Again, it's fantasy. I get it.
I kind of don't like the black armor that I saw from like the trailers and stuff.
You're talking about are you talking about the ones that tower over Odysseus? Or are you talking about Agamemnon's armor?
They both had dark armor. I think one of them was like a dark blue and the other was black.
Because Benny Safdie had the dark blue. Yeah, and then Odysseus has like a Kratos God of War 2018 vibe going on a little bit.
So like from everything that I know of the armors of the period, I mean obviously this is fantasy, but they're super bright. Their whole goal is not only to defend themselves, but it's also to stand out.
I liked Brad Pitt's armor in Troy. Yeah. Even though it was still a little dark.
It was brown with gold accents.
It looked really cool in my opinion.
It was almost regal.
Yeah, he looked badass, and it fit the time a little bit. And I'm not an expert on this. If you're an expert on this, and you're like, well, that didn't look accurate, I'll take your word, for it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it just seemed like it leaned heavily on the fantasy aspect, and I appreciate fantasy. I love Lord of the Rings, but this is a different kind of fantasy. You're taking a story, and you're putting your own twist on it, and hey, if people absolutely positively love this movie, more power to you. I'm happy for you. I got to stand and be honest, and going forward, if this is a shocking take that you did not expect to hear such praise, and then this comes out of left field, well, you heard it here. Unapologetically Accurate gives the Odyssey a 6 out of 10. There is a lot. There is a lot to enjoy sequence-wise. There's even like a little dabs of horror in it, and like we were talking about in our little introduction video, I am a sucker for horror. I love that. So there was moments where I was like, damn, Christopher Nolan could make a horror movie in the future. But for God's sakes, make sure you follow the ABC 1, 2, 3 pattern, because
you don't want to see the main character get killed and then have the entire movie leading up to it.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to go on a side note here. This is my recommendation. We normally do this at the end of the episode. Watch JT Mulner's Strange Darling. If you're going to do a movie out of order, do that. That is a masterpiece right there. That is, I saw it in February. One of the best movies I've seen. And it came out 2 years ago around the summer, I think, when Deadpool and Wolverine came out. If you're gonna do a thriller or a horror movie, do it something like that. That movie right there. And the people I recommended it to, love at first sight, just like me. It is a fantastic movie. So that's my recommendation. I just can't fathom movies doing that all the time. It feels like, I think like Tarantino, like when he does it, it's still a cohesive story.
Yeah, because like even with Pulp Fiction, there's a lot of jumping around in that. I think there's like 4 separate timelines all intersecting.
Something like that.
But like the way he did it, you knew when it was happening based off of what they were wearing, based off of the characters you were seeing. After you saw everyone and where they were, that whenever they did one of the time jumps or going back into the story, you knew that because they don't have that scratch on their face. Oh, they're wearing this.
Yeah.
You knew. With this, it's a lot of the same people with the same haircuts wearing the same things. It's very hard to keep track of unless you're like active. Like, okay, this is
The only time I would say that it was obviously in the future with Matt Damon was how long his beard was and how much white was in it or silver.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be frank. I'm gonna give this film a second chance. It's gonna be hard to buy this on 4K. You got no idea. I'm gonna wait till this sucker's on sale. Still supporting the cause. It's gonna be hard to give us a second chance, though. It really is. I'm not big on giving certain movies a second chance if I wasn't impressed watching the theater. Because Doom Part One, speaking back to Doom, I was not impressed. And that movie, if I'm not mistaken, didn't have a time jump. It was
straight boring to me.
Yes, yes.
That movie.
At least the Odyssey has sequences of intensity and action. The Cyclops scene is fantastic. The witch scene is fantastic. It was the whole thing with Hades and the underworld thing that was tense. The final fight in the end when he gets his bow ready. There's a fight there. You know, there's moments there. Dune. Oh look, there's a worm.
Way over there.
Oh look, they're invading our little castle. Those guys wearing all black. Oh look, Paul's crying with his mom. Oh look, he's crying again. Oh look, Paul's having a duel. And he won.
All right, so let's go back to Nolan. So let's go ahead and move into past the Odyssey. Let's go back to his back catalog. I like a lot of the things that Nolan does. And I also like a lot of things that he's for. Like he's for preserving physical media. I think it's very important.
Yeah.
He's for preserving film, not just everything being digital.
I know you're not big into theater, hold that thought, but I like him also being gung-ho for people going to the theater. I really can't stand this drop into digital to stream. Some movies, or in fact, a lot of movies deserve to be presented in the theater, and I feel like people are spoiled with, it's going to come to digital. I'll just wait. Come on, man.
Yeah. So I'm all for theaters if there's like a big release that I want to see. Like, oh yeah, like I want to see. I have really wanted to see a movie in theater for a long time, but like, let's just use an example that I wanted to see. I never ended up seeing it, but Scary Movie 6. Comedies don't get these huge theatrical runs anymore, but Scary Movie 6 proved that, like, no, if you have an audience for it, if you have an established fan base, they will go to the theater because it made pretty good money.
Yeah, made over $200 million if I'm not mistaken.
So like, I'm cool with like Nolan wanting to preserve the theater. Now, what I'm not cool with is what he does with his aspect ratios.
That was my biggest nitpick, actually.
Because like, obviously, again, I haven't seen the Odyssey. Don't plan on seeing the Odyssey in theaters. If I see the Odyssey, it'll be on 4K Blu-ray disc, but probably his copy. But the last movie that I can think of that I saw in theaters that had the aspect ratio thing that just kept flipping back and forth, the second Avatar movie. It was driving me up the wall. It felt like every 2 minutes it would change. Because I think there was like 3 aspect ratios.
That's awful right there. A theatrical experience. Yeah. And that's happening.
And the frame rate was changing in that movie too. I'm not sure how it is on 4K. I didn't buy the 4K of that movie because I didn't really like it. But like during the action scenes, it was 60 frames a second. Then it would go to 24 frames a second when they were talking. Then it would go to, I think it was like 48 frames a second.
You must have had a headache when it was all said and done.
Oh, see, when it's below 24 frames a second, that's when I get a headache. If it's 24 or higher, I'm usually good.
Oh, but okay, so you were just getting annoyed at not being consistent.
It was noticeable.
Okay.
It was noticeable and it was annoying. Same thing with the aspect ratio. I think the first movie that I ever saw that had the switching aspect ratio was one of the Transformers movies.
Might have been the second one.
Probably.
I think it was Revenge of the Fallen. I was noticing, and I was getting annoyed with that.
Either crop the sides to have everything match the IMAX ratio, or don't do it. Like, and that's something we can get into in a later episode. I am all for movies being 16:9, 4:3.
Which one is the one that's a square?
So the square is 4:3. So the aspect ratio is like 1:3:1.
I think the Lighthouse was that.
Yeah, but they did that for a purpose. It made it very close.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They filmed it like that on purpose.
And I'm saying I love it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I'm good with that. If you want to do a 1:3:3 aspect ratio, great. You want to do a 1:7:8 aspect ratio, great. 1:8:5, great. 2:4:4:1. I'm fine with all of the aspect ratios.
Just stick to it.
If it stays that aspect ratio. I don't care what the aspect ratio is. Just stick to it. And that's why I'm glad this was filmed in all IMAX.
That way, if it's cut up, let's say there's a widescreen and they put the black bars, you're not going to have to worry about it. Now, if they're smart, just leave it full screen for God's sakes.
Now, are they going to do something how they did with Darker Than Moon, or not Darker Than Moon, Revenge of the Fallen, the Transformers movie, where there is a special version that has the IMAX stuff, and then there is a version that does not?
I don't know, because until that home media release is active, I can't say. It's going to come to Peacock. That's probably the fastest way I'll know if that aspect ratio is going to stay the same, which is fine. I'm not putting $1, extra towards the movie. I can just take a quick glimpse and confirm that, and I'll do that down the road. And that's worrisome, because Disney Plus also has that too, where they actually have certain movies that are in the IMAX format for you to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, you're bouncing from widescreen, IMAX, widescreen, IMAX. It's ridiculous, and it's trash when you are being distracted by the black bars just popping up. Mm-hmm. It's a modern movie. Leave it alone.
Yeah. Just
leave it alone. Just put it out there. Let us watch it.
Because not every filmmaker is John Carpenter that uses the entire 244 format.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like he will have something happening in the corner, going across the entire bottom, going up the side, and then going into the center of the screen. Like in The Thing.
One of the greatest horror movies of all time.
Like, he uses the entire screen. So when he wants a super wide shot, it makes perfect sense.
One of the best scenes is the body with the tarp over it when they were trying to get the blood. Yeah, the hair on my arm standing up, man.
And like you literally would not be able to do that scene if it was in 1:3:3 or 1:7:8. You would not be able to do it, because you would not see it unless they just went zoomed way far out. You wouldn't be able to do it. And that's I think, going back to the Odyssey, I think that is a worry for me, is if they do not have the full IMAX version on disc.
Yeah.
So that means what, from here on, you either have to do the Disney Plus IMAX version, or whenever they have a Fathom event at a Regal Theater, you can see it like that.
He needs to put his foot down, and if you're gung-ho about making your film 1,000% with IMAX cameras, your final film needs to be represented with that. And for all we know, it would be interesting if someone or people put it out there like, dude, this is getting tiresome. What is this? Dark Knight, for instance, the very beginning with the bank robbery was bouncing back and forth. Mm-hmm. It was annoying. I was freaking out. I was like, yo, what the hell is wrong with
my TV?
Yeah, like, what is going on? I was like, what is this? Like, this is ridiculous. And I had seen it with another one of his movies, and I'm like, so you film certain sequences with an IMAX camera. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna take a bet. I'm gonna guarantee that home release of the IMAX of the Odyssey is going to be full on, no jumping around with the aspect ratio. And if it does, bruh, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
All right, so let's go back to things you like about Christopher Nolan movies. Now, I've already said I like how he's about preserving physical media. I like some of his movies. I don't like all of them, I didn't really like Inception.
That's funny. That's actually my second favorite Nolan
I
film.
know.
That is,
That's why I
yeah.
bring
See,
it up.
see, see.
So I saw Inception. Oh God, probably. I think I saw it 3 times. Because like the first time I watched it, I'm like, do I like this movie? Second time I watched it, I'm like, okay, yeah, I liked it. Third time I watched it, I'm like, oh, I really don't like it.
What were the reasons?
I don't. It's hard to put into words what made me not like it. I feel like he had a concept that he really liked. Them going into the spaces with
Yeah, yeah.
like he had the revolving room, the revolving sets and stuff like that. So he had an idea that he liked. I just don't think he nailed the execution. I think the story of the movie itself was just so far up its own ass that it's overly convoluted.
I know one of the biggest plot holes people like to call out at the end. Again, disclaimer.
Oh, it's an old movie.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, DiCaprio when he's left in the water
Mm-hmm.
at the end, and he's gonna go get Ken Watanabe out from that limbo.
Hugely underrated actor, by the way.
Yeah, he's fantastic in practically everything. That to me, bro, you kind of lead him to his death. You guys don't have like an oxygen tank to put in his mouth or something? Like that to me was like a small grab. I'm like, he's gonna die. He's gonna go to that damn limbo, and then somebody else is gonna have to get him out. I'm like that to me just kind of didn't make sense because they had that little purgatory that hey, it was called limbo actually, if I'm not mistaken. That to me was one of the plot holes. I was like, that's kind of weird what they're doing. I was just like, and then the final ending with the top being the same shot of the kids in the same clothes throughout the flashback, throughout the movie, same clothes. I'm just like, that right there towards the finale is my only real nitpicks about Inception. But I absolutely adore the cast, the visuals. I love the
Well,
concept.
see, I'm not a big DiCaprio fan either.
Yeah,
So
I'm.
the casting is kind of like,
That's fair. That's fair. I'm a big DiCaprio fan, despite other things behind the scenes. Yeah, but yeah,
as long as they're legal, I don't care who's.
I mean that's fine. It's just still a little funny though. It's funny. That's what I'm getting. I'm not throwing shade at Leo's great. It's just a little funny. You know what I'm saying?
Um,
God forbid they're 26.
that's practically middle aged. Uh, so going back through some of the Christopher Nolan movies that I liked, love Batman Begins. I think Batman Begins is his best Batman movie. It's not his best directed Batman movie, but it's the most Batman of any of his Batman movies. And that's where I think, if I'm not mistaken, Batman Begins was my first Christopher Nolan experience in theaters.
I didn't see that in theaters. I was going to, but something happened and it didn't happen. Yeah.
But like going so from watching that and thinking, I'm like, oh, okay, let me check this director out. So after that, um, my dad bought Memento on DVD. So I watched that, and Memento is another movie that just jumps around like crazy. But the jumping around part is the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like when you piece it together, or when the character piece, I forgot what his name was. Guy Pearce's character. It's not coming to me right now. Anyway, when he pieces it together, it's just like, oh. So it made sense. I thought that concept was much better executed than the concept in Inception was. But so like watching his, and that's either his first or his second.
That I think was his first, and then it was Insomnia with Pacino and
Yeah.
Robin Williams.
Okay, so you know that being one of his, let's just say one of his earliest
Yeah, works.
mainstream movies, like really well executed, really well directed, some shaky cam, but it's all serving the purpose for storytelling. Okay, so seeing those movies that I liked, and just lately I think ever since after Dark Knight, so Dark Knight Rises, and then Tenet, both of which Dark Knight Rises, I think, is a mess from top to bottom.
Be honest.
I love Tom Hardy, but as not only a Batman movie, it fails, like wholeheartedly fails. Like in this universe, you're telling me that Batman basically just quits being Batman after two major crime things? It's been 10 years since he started, and he quits after two major things happen. Now, obviously, oh, well, he was outlawed by the police at the end of the second movie. Yeah, whatever.
They could have made a really cool movie with the police being in constant pain.
But
because that was just
that's another movie where it's not going back in time, but there's time forward jumps that make no sense. Oh, how did he do this? Oh, it's a movie. Oh, how did he do this? Oh, he's Batman, even though he's lost all his money. So
how he got back into Gotham really pissed me off.
Yeah, I hate that. Or why he would even be placed in the prison in the hole when
Bane has Gotham.
It's the one place where I know people can get out because there's no guards.
I'm still stuck that Bane had Gotham by the balls with a vice grip, and now you just realize he could have just left him in a prison cell in Gotham. And it would have. That was some unnecessary shit right there.
But like, okay, so moving past that, we go to Tenet, and that movie is just. I know it was COVID times and whatnot, so that rushed production, they had all that mess to deal with. But come on, that movie was trash, absolute trash.
I think he knows that that's his weakest pudding.
But again, that's the same. This movie had the same exact problem I had with Inception. He had this concept. He's like, I'm going to base the entire movie around them going back into their own, however the hell they explain it, like them precognizant of what's going to happen, then they respond, and then things happen in that order. Or however the hell they explained it. I only watched it once, and I will only ever watch it that once. But that movie sucked. It was a concept poorly executed. Somewhat not his fault because of the whole COVID thing. I mean, that's more of an editing.
Did he write this whole thing completely off the top of your head?
I don't know.
Because him and his brother kind of were co-writing stuff, and then Jonathan went to go do his own thing. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Fallout, and maybe he was producing Twisted Metal, so he's kind of doing his own thing away from his brother. But I'm curious if Christopher Nolan wrote this whole thing by himself.
So he goes from that movie. Mm-hmm. Then I think the next is Oppenheimer, right?
Yes, sir. Which we saw in theaters.
Yeah, we saw that in theaters. I thought Oppenheimer was great. Yeah. I was like, oh, he's back. Oh, he can make a good movie.
That is a fantastic film written for, and it's mainly dialogue.
There's no action, I don't think.
It is like, apart from the testings, and maybe
that's explosive.
the little like, visual like quips, like messing with Oppenheimer's head, how he's feeling. Yeah, that is a straight up dialogue film. That is like on the level like Tarantino, just dialogue straight.
And it's shot well.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is very, very visible.
Cast was.
Oh, you just like Florence Pugh.
Hey, listen, bruh. I praised Cillian Murphy, and listen.
Yeah, RDJ.
That's exactly what I was about to get at. Everybody and their mama, they look at RDJ, still only for Iron Man. You got to go see Oppenheimer. He is fantastic. Yep.
Absolutely fantastic in that.
Nice little cameo from Gary Oldman. You were even laughing out loud. Come on, man. Come on.
But that showed me that Christopher Nolan he's still got it. Mm-hmm. Okay, he can make not just a good movie. He can make an amazing movie still. But the Odyssey is just not it.
And again, you know the story. I know the story. To me, it's just unnecessary. It's just an unnecessary thing. He knows what he's doing when he wants to make a film. Where he goes from here, if it is that horror movie that he's teasing, because he was a fan of Obsession. Shout out, great movie. He was a big fan of that movie, and he's thinking about.
I need to watch it. I need to buy the 4K.
I'll when I get it, I'll let you.
No, I'm gonna buy it.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Because my wife will want to see it. So
it's a fantastic movie. He was impressed by that movie. He's contemplating on making a horror movie.
Do you think he has it?
Again, there's a couple moments in the Odyssey where I'm like, I feel like he can do it. I'm gonna be frank with you.
But see, okay, so you say there's a couple moments that there are a lot of.
I'll say the Cyclops in the witch scene. Yeah.
So like the Cyclops gives horror vibes.
Yes.
My problem with him doing a horror movie is character direction. That's what he struggles with, I think.
And that's why I think a second writer sometimes comes in handy because, again, Jonathan Nolan, I feel like if he wasn't attached to Tenet, then he got lucky with Oppenheimer with that writing being fantastic. Because I can't recall if there was even a second writer for Oppenheimer. And if there was, then, hey, listen, we're not perfect. We know our things about Christopher Nolan, but not everything to a T.
Yeah, and Oppenheimer was based off real life people.
Yeah, it's a biopic.
So he had a guideline already there.
If he had plenty of books, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right there.
Yeah, he already had a framework.
Exactly. This right here, he does that horror movie. And
it's like character motivations are what I feel he struggles with. And that's what a horror movie is, okay, we're going to be following this character who's being haunted, chased, or whatever by this creature, monster, killer, whatever it might be. So the character motivations on how they're going to get through, what they're going to act like. I feel he would struggle with that. So I'm like, he would be a good second unit director for sure.
I think he should dabble as an executive producer on something and
like dip his toes in that.
Dip his toes, yes. He should executive produce, like, in my opinion, hell, I don't even care if it's Curry Barker's next one, who's the director of Obsession. Just be an executive producer and see and put your 2 cents in and stuff like that. Or even Jordan Peele's next movie, if he's, whenever he decides to go do that. That's what he should do.
But Nolan's white.
Oh, Jordan's half white, but, never say never,
Well, he says he's not going to hire white people. That's his words. I didn't say.
Okay,
I'm not saying that. That's what he said.
Listen, I'm flabbergasted. I'm just, hey, listen.
That's literally what he said. That's his prerogative. He's the director. He, whatever.
Well, he was hanging out with Kojima, son, and Kojima ain't white.
He's not exactly white.
Yeah, no, definitely not. That man loves a lot of white movies, though, I'll tell you that, because he gives a lot of shout-outs on his social media. Love you, Hideo. But yeah, man, I digress. But yeah, he should produce, and yeah, I think that would be great for him. And then, hell, maybe even dabble, like an anthology series, like, for instance, one that's on Netflix, Cabinet of Curiosities, is Guillermo del Toro. He was kind of like what Alfred Hitchcock was to the little shorts that were back in the day. If he did one of those, and it's a banger, 30 minutes, 45 minutes tops.
Well, see, I think that Nolan would excel at something shorter. Well, I mean, like,
even better.
Yeah, I think that if he were to do a 45-minute special, then it would just be next level.
Side note, I got to get this out the way. I love the Terrifier movies, right? Terrifier 3, Terrifier 2, excuse me, is 2.5 hours long. I can't fathom a horror movie being past 2 hours. Terrifier 2 is one of those.
I would say anything over 100 minutes is too long for a horror movie.
And that's the thing, Obsession is almost 2 hours to a T, by a couple minutes. But Obsession, though, once it gets going, it doesn't waste no time.
It's a slow build up to.
No. You give it 15 minutes, this ball is rolling.
Well, okay, 20. 15.
Yeah.
But like the first part of it, until she starts acting really strange.
Yeah.
It's slower.
It's slower. Just again.
But after that.
Oh yeah, you're anticipating that next thing. You're on edge, and we're not trying to go into spoilers for Obsession because
I haven't even seen it.
So yeah, just you got to worry about that. But Terrifier 2 being 2.5 hours long, Respect to the director. I enjoy the movie. I'll watch it once during Halloween time. Christopher Nolan, he makes that horror movie. If it is 2.5 hours to 3 hours long, that's going to be a chore for me to sit through, because you better have a lot of shit to keep me engaged, to freak me out. I'm just saying that's a long run time right there, because a lot of his movies are in that range of 2.5 to 3 hours long.
It's usually 2.5 minimum.
There you go. Yeah. He makes a horror movie. He has to make a 2-hour film. Yeah. You got to get to the point. You got to get to the point. You cannot dilly dally and here's a nightmare sequence and we filmed this with 1,000 fog machines and here's the newest rig that we set up. I'm like, dude, keep it simple.
This is a new 19K IMAX.
He's gonna introduce
this first building size camera.
And then watch, because of that, they're gonna have to make new media. Oh wait, hold on. Let's hope those don't die out. Yeah,
Sony's not on it.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. But a new disc for that format to support how big that file is for the movie. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so let's go into. I know I was nitpicking while I was praising Nolan for some of the movies and choices that he makes. My biggest nitpick, and let me go on a little rant before you go. My biggest nitpick with any modern Christopher Nolan movie, it's been the same at least since Batman Begins, because it was in Batman Begins.
So we got 20 years of content here.
So it's Batman Begins has its problem, Dark Knight has its problem, Dark Knight Rises has its problem, Inception has its problem, Tenet has its problem. I'm assuming the Odyssey has its problem. Oppenheimer, it had the problem, but it didn't matter because there wasn't a lot of fast-paced things, slow things. Fast-paced things, slow things. There wasn't a lot of that, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
But it had the problem.
Okay.
And I could tell in theaters that it had the problem. Whoever gave Christopher Nolan final edit on the sound mix needs to be thrown off a building, because this man cannot do a sound mix to save his life. At home, in theaters, if there is a loud action scene and a dialogue scene, the action scene is at a 20. The dialogue scene is at a -4.
The sound mixing for Oppenheimer, especially with the explosions, that was brilliant shit.
It was about to blow the speakers in there.
That was brilliant. Yeah. That, to me, I get what you're saying. That, to me, I thought was brilliant.
And that's what I'm saying. It didn't matter.
You remember when he was in the church? I believe it was a church, and he hears the voices going in and out.
But someone needs to take away final sound mix from Nolan, because it's in all of his movies from Batman Begins on, where the dialogue is super low and everything else, any sound effect for a hit, any music, it's overpowering. You can't. And you're at the house with the remote like this.
Now you are reminding me of the Odyssey, because there was times where it was hard to hear certain things, and the spectacle of scenes.
I should not have to have subtitles on to be able to listen to a movie that I speak the language of.
And the only scene that it works perfectly in that movie is the siren song when Odysseus is tied to the post, and his crew has the wax in their ears. That's the only scene where it is perfect, because it makes sense.
Yeah.
God damn, you just reminded me of that. I was like, because even I'm like,
because it's not a new thing.
Oh man,
and that's what drives me crazy. It's like he has all these great visuals. He's doing the right thing. He's using film. He's like making a movie for the movie theater experience.
Yeah.
He is doing it right. Except the sound. A sound is a huge part of a movie. If you can't hear what they're saying because you're deaf from what just happened in the scene earlier, or the people are screaming while things are going on, "Hey, get over here," blah 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 blah, like that, but you can't hear anything because the sound mix is off.
Yeah, that's
it's like going back to, because what studio made the Odyssey?
Oppenheimer and Odyssey was Universal.
Okay, so are you telling me no one at Universal was like, we can't understand what the hell they're saying. You're gonna have to crank up their volume. I'm not saying bring the other stuff down.
Just match it.
Bring the dialogue to match it. Exactly. Match it. If it's a loud movie, then I want loud dialogue.
That's understandable.
Unless it's the the ears are clogged because of the sirens.
And I know you really put your opinion on The Dark Knight Rises. I enjoy it. Nostalgia. Side note, that was the last movie I saw in theaters with my father. So it holds a special place in my heart. I understand why you have your gripes about it. Tom Hardy in that theater experience, oh my God. It was hard to make out a single word at certain times. If we were to talk like this the entire time, after a while it would get really annoying because you have to really invest and like probably damn near want to lean in closer to hope that the octaves could get a little louder so you can make out what he was saying. The Blu-ray did a much better job. You actually understand him, and he knew he got flack for that. I was like, what the hell is he eating under the mask?
Oh, this Crunchy Wrap Supreme.
Yeah, exactly. I must ask for another Big Mac. I'm just like, come on, bro. Like, dude, come on, man. Like that was a chore. That was a chore, and I don't know. I felt like his dialogue was lower. I felt like his dialogue was like lower. Maybe.
So you're saying the Odyssey has the same problem?
I think the Odyssey does. I think the siren scene, spectacle scenes, loud. I think this is ongoing. Now it's got me curious. Would you say it's a sound mixer, or is there?
Well, it's whoever's in charge of the final sound mix. Either it's Nolan making the decision because I'm assuming he has final cut in everything he does now.
I think he wants that spectacle of it being loud to make this more like, oh my God. And then at the start of the film, it's back to that. And then the scene gets louder. To be honest, I would know the piss out of me if you're making certain scenes on loud action sequences, because guess what? It's kind of distracting because I don't want to be having my sound bar up and it's already loud enough. And then all of a sudden glass is about to shatter because it's, rocking the boat. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, yeah.
He's all about the immersive experience.
And I respect that.
And feeling like you're in whatever's happening. Nothing takes me out of it more than having to grab the remote and adjust the volume. Like, I could be eating, I could be talking to someone, and I'll be more into the movie than if I have to grab a piece of equipment and adjust it on the fly when things are going on the screen. That takes me out of the experience entirely.
I understand. I mean, I understand entirely. I can't think of a movie where he started. Well, I guess you could say The Dark Knight's probably the closest thing that started with some type of action to some degree. Because, you got to think
the bank robbery.
The bank robbery, yeah. I think that's the only movie I think that really started with action. I don't know how Tenet really started.
Well, and the funny thing, I think Tenet started with an investigation of what was happening. Okay. But, like, because they go through it and then they, like...
So dialogue, basically.
Yeah, but, no, it's both. Because they arrive at the scene and then they...
Oh, so it's jumping.
It's like them looking at what happened, then it shows the flashback.
I bet. Okay.
Okay, but anyway, so like going back to the bank robbery scene in
Dark Knight.
In the Dark Knight, you have these guys in masks who sound like they're being muffled because they're in masks.
Yeah.
And then you have
that score is booming. Yeah.
And I'm just like, I can't understand what they're saying because everything other than their words is so loud.
Yeah. Hans Zimmer's scores were powerful. I mean, they're great.
And I like the score.
But again,
it's one of the things I like most about his Batman movies is the score.
Yeah. I totally understand that. There are times where it's kind of like a jump scare when you get the score just coming out of left field. In the movie. But again, you want that loud sound. You know what I'm saying? But the home media release.
Oh, I'm good with the loud sound. Bring the dialogue up.
Yeah, I get it entirely.
But that's my biggest Nolan nitpick because it's been an ongoing thing for over 20 years. Or when was it begins?
2005.
2005.
So
okay,
21 years.
So 21 years. It's been an ongoing thing for 21 years. Let's fix it.
I'd be crazy if he had the same exact person doing that. That'd be insane.
I mean, that's the thing because he's in different studios because he was in WB. Now he's at Universal.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever's footing the bill for his movie, Oppenheimer was Sony. I want to say.
No, Oppenheimer was Universal.
Was Universal?
It was Universal. Yeah,
you said Universal.
He made the jump because of he did not like what WB was doing with the direction of their media release, or their home movie. Excuse me, the theater releases. He was not happy about that because also the mergers that were happening too. He was like, "Oh, I'm getting out."
That Discovery merger.
Yep, because everything's changing. And yeah, they have a path. Once a merger happens or something, plans change. So he said, "I'm getting out before this."
But like him changing studios leads me to believe he is the one in charge of it. Because I mean, he's not Kubrick levels, but he is, from what I've heard, pretty in the weeds, pretty controlling of what goes out. So that would lead me to believe that he would be the one in charge of that.
Technically his art. It's technically.
I would like to be able to hear the art a little bit better. Okay.
If that's the case, then yeah, he has it. If he has it like that, he has it like that. Yeah, it's kind of bittersweet because you see that he's trying, but there's some things that you gotta dial it back. You gotta dial it back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, man. That's what I think it's the immersion. That's all it is. It's to have immersion. You go to the theater, you're locked in, you're invested, especially a movie like the Odyssey that has a lot of spectacle moments and stuff like that. That's what I think it is. And Tenet, say what you want about the plot, still has some visual moments, I assume, that are like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Inception, I gotta be honest with you, Inception, I can't really recall.
Anytime anything was shifting around, it was rumbling.
You saw it in theaters? You saw it in theaters?
No, I saw it on home video. Home video was like that.
Okay.
Anytime anything was shifting around them, it was.
That's what I think it is. It's got to be the immersion. He wants that investment, like as if you're there, but it only really works in the theater. You're locked in. If you're smart and you enjoy a movie, your phone is not distracting you. It's you completely out of sight, out of mind. You're focused on the storytelling at hand. Yeah, that's what I think it is. But yeah, for the whole media, like we're talking about the aspect ratio, lock it in.
Mm-hmm.
Lock your sound in. This is a different experience.
Yeah.
And let's hope he fixes that, because if the Odyssey has its aspect ratio, where it needs to be, hopefully he'll get his audio on track, because maybe nobody's really pointing this out. That's probably the reason why he hasn't done it yet.
I mean, I have to assume people have got to been bringing it up a while now.
So, or if not, make an alternate thing with the booming visual spectacle moments.
Because I remember
call it the Nolan audio or something.
The Nolan setting. I remember I can't remember. It was one of the earlier Blu-ray releases of the Batman movies, where there was a 2.0 sound mix.
Really?
Yeah. It was probably Begins, because it was early days.
I never knew this.
It's like it was right after the HD DVD had been discontinued, so they moved it over to Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
I think that first release Blu-ray had a 2.0 audio mix. That's the audio mix I used, because everything is so flat. Because like, I have the surround sound, but like when you play the 2.0 audios from older things, everything is just an heavy speaker. That's how I would watch that movie.
That's interesting. That's very interesting right there. Flat. Like, was it based strictly on the sound system that you had?
No, so it had, I think it was the 5.1 surround, and the 5.1 mix had the issue where you couldn't hear the dialogue over the score, over the action scenes happening. But you switch it over to the 2.0,
mm-hmm.
and you could hear everything. Everything was loud. It was more flat. It's not as immersive, but I would take that option in all of his movies over the sound mix that he does.
Yeah, I mean,
because like,
have you investigated any of his other releases?
I haven't.
I know you're not.
Not the more recent ones.
Okay, I don't own Oppenheimer on 4K, so that's something I gotta pick up soon. Because again, I really enjoy that movie. So.
But like when we were watching the Terminator in the mono mix.
Yep.
Like it wasn't that flat.
It was, but you know what though? You know why?
We got the gunshots.
Exactly.
But like, a mono mix is because I watch a lot of 80s movies, and whenever they offer the original mono mixes for the lower budget movies, I always go to the original audio whenever possible. I don't care if they have the newest, what is it, Atmos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't care. Like, you're going to give me fake overhead sounds. My system can do it. If the movie was designed for it, great.
The 3D audio is a big thing these days. Yeah. If somebody's to the left, they want that sound to the left. If it's to the right or in front and center.
But going to the old movies, if they're adding that stuff, no, I don't want it. I want whatever was there originally.
And I'm getting tired of also like clips on YouTube with the 3D audio now. I know this is kind of going out of left field, but that seems to be a thing now that's moving forward. You got clips, recent movies.
And it sounds awful on your phone if you're trying to listen to it on your phone.
Oh yeah, because it sounds like your speaker's damaged.
It sounds like your hand is muffling the speaker.
Yeah, and then when you have it in, you're wondering if your damn earbuds acting funky. Then you go to the next video, or music, it's fine. I'm like, what? I'm like, come on, man, like that's ridiculous right here. To me, and there's people who probably love that. More power to you. It's not my cup of tea, to be honest with you. Wow. I think I have a conversation about sound mixing and audio. That's a first for me. That's a first for me. Maybe a first for you if you're listening in. But yeah, man.
So let's end the episode on a more high note. So you think that Christopher Nolan can do a horror movie justice? Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to rephrase that.
Let me rephrase that. So you feel that Christopher Nolan is going to be able, if he wants. Obviously, we don't know. We're not Christopher Nolan, but you think he has it in him to make a good horror movie?
I think Christopher Nolan has it in him to make any kind of movie he wants.
Romantic comedy.
You know what? To be honest with you, bring it, man. I'll give that a chance, man.
What actor do you want to be in that movie?
Oh man, he already had McConaughey once, and he only worked on once. Let's get McConaughey back, man.
Romantic comedy. McConaughey's done that to death. Let's not typecast McConaughey.
He's too late, man. It's too late.
No. We're breaking the mold, okay?
Yeah, he hasn't done it in a while. Matthew
McConaughey is the asshole in the romantic comedy. He's the cheating.
All right, fine. I got it. Break out the cage, man.
Nicolas Cage, romantic comedy, directed by Christopher Nolan.
That is box office money right there.
Who is the female?
Dude, I'm just kidding, man. Let's
no,
get back to I was just kidding. I was just kidding.
Full on Cage.
No, I'm full on Cage, but the whole romantic comedy thing, I was just joking.
No.
Romantic
comedy, Nicolas Cage.
I will stay silent.
Who is he pursuing in this movie?
Well, Cage has had a lot of Asian love interest, so we got to break the mold there. So,
what African queen is Nicolas Cage pursuing in this movie?
Does it matter who, or are you defined with an age like that's close to his, or what?
She just turned 18.
Oh, you are terrible. Nah.
It's Nick Cage. He can do whatever he wants.
I mean, he's one of the goats. Yeah, we love Nicolas Cage and Unapologetically Accurate. We love this guy. Oh man,
Nick Cage is so good.
He is.
Oh man, Nick Cage directed by Christopher Nolan. That would be awesome.
It would be. Yeah, McConaughey's got to be the asshole in that.
Yeah, because I like McConaughey. I'm tired of him being the good guy.
I went with McConaughey though originally because he's only worked with Nolan once. I wasn't gonna say Tom Hardy. He's done.
Yeah.
Cillian Murphy's done quite a few movies. Damon has done a couple movies now. I was thinking about someone who did like a one shot, like you know what I'm saying. So that's why I went with.
That's one of the Nolan movies we didn't really talk about. Interstellar. I don't think Interstellar had that many issues with the audio mix. It had some.
But what helps though is that movie's a sci-fi movie through and through. Yeah. I mean, because Inception was the most sci-fi he had ever did. And then this one was full blown. And there's some great sound mixing there. The part where Matt Damon gets blown up, I was like,
spoilers.
I mean, it's too late. You're, I think that was 2014. Yeah, you're 12 years. So yeah, we already put a disclaimer. So at this rate, like, for the Odyssey, yeah, but yeah, I think definitely because it's a sci-fi film, that helps to some degree.
And when he was looking through at his past self, like when he was
Christ, that film's
the echoes,
the muffled.
Yeah, that really worked.
Yeah. That was that's a great film. That's my favorite Nolan film. It's a gut punch. But yeah, man, I think Christopher Nolan, if he sees his sights on it, he's now done fantasy. I would love something like more not touched on, something that's like Homer. If he can make it an original fantasy film, dude, I'm all in. That would be amazing. I'm all in for the horror movie. If it's over 2 hours.
So you want him to veer outside of realism?
Oh, dude!
After seeing the Odyssey,
if he does another fantasy movie, I don't want this based off of anything. Let your creativity side come out and play. Do something totally original. A lot of fantasy stuff I feel like is always based off of something these days. I feel like I can't think of anything that was very original for fantasy. Got The Witcher.
Stateside, maybe.
That's fair. That's fair.
You go to other countries and they have some weird shit.
You are correct, because you know what I've told you before, man. I think Korean cinema reigns supreme most of the time. They can cook some movies, man. They put us to shame, I think, sometimes.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think they're slept on too. I feel like a lot of people.
We're gonna have a Asian cinema.
Dude, no, we got to make sure we pinpoint though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because I gotta be honest with you, I might have to do more homework on, I would say, Chinese. I would say, because really, what you showed me with John Woo was probably the most I have my knowledge on. I would say.
Well, I mean that's Hong Kong. But...
Oh, okay, my fault, my mistake. But yeah,
I don't have that many Chinese, like actually mainland China movies, because a lot of that stuff does not get translated out here.
Fair enough. But okay, we'll just do the Asian cinema just under that umbrella.
There's probably. About 1,000 Sun Wukong movies we can watch.
Oh.
I mean, hell, there's one with Jet Li in it.
No, I'm gonna give anything a chance. But yeah, man, Nolan, if he keeps back to him with the horror film, if he keeps that 2 hours, I'm gonna cringe. If it's under 2.5, like 2 hours and 20, I'm gonna cringe. You can't dwell on this, man. You gotta have a lot for it to be invested in. A lot of moments. It's a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
You got to think on that. You got to one up.
And also, it's about 3 years in between Nolan movies.
Correct.
Usually.
Yep.
3 or 4. How old is he? Like 60?
No, he's 56, 57.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's a little younger than I thought.
Yeah.
But obviously he's not a stunt man. He can go a lot longer directing, but is he going to have the drive to do it much longer? Do you think?
He seems to love what he's doing. He's still drawing in money. The Odyssey's made over $600 million. I think it needed about 650, 700 to break even.
If it hasn't broken even,
it's about to. Yeah. It's about to. As long as, in my opinion, as long as the money's flowing, I think he'll always. I'm not saying that's all he cares about or anything like that. Not putting words out there, but I think if he's successful and he sees that he's being successful, I think that's always going to keep making him drive to keep working. That means people are appreciating his work. Mm-hmm. When you have when you know there's an appreciation for your work, it's going to keep driving you. It's going to keep pushing you, because that's how you get burnt out when you keep hustling. And look what we did to John Carpenter, for instance. That breaks my heart. That man was making classics and he never got the appreciation. Mm-hmm. Even from the critics, he never got the appreciation he deserved. And he is one of the best filmmakers. He's in my top 3. Breaks my heart, man. Yeah. I think when you see your success and you made your audience happy, majority, you're going to keep doing it for the love of the game at the end of the day. Nolan, I think, can do any film he wants to. He's a great filmmaker. You enjoy the Odyssey, I'm happy for you. I go support it even more. Buy physical media. I'm gonna keep saying this probably every freaking episode. But yeah, man, he's great, man. He's great. His cast didn't do it for me this time around, but he's had great casts previously. So he's probably dabbling to get more familiar faces to be working in bigger roles next time. Like if Lupita Nyong'o comes out in his next film and it is a horror movie, I'm fine with that. She was great in Us. I liked her in Us. I wasn't a fan of the film overall, but she was good in the dual role that she did. I didn't have to see her Quiet Place film still, but nevertheless, though.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and move on to recommendations.
I redid mine.
Let's do Christopher Nolan recommendations.
Oh, Christ.
Okay, so for my recommendation, Memento. Love the movie. It's one of his earlier works. It's a little rough around the edges, but that's part of its charm. Plus, you got freaking Trinity from The Matrix. Carrie Ann Moss. Mwah.
You forgot Joey Pants, man. Good old Joey Pants.
Okay.
You would have told us the truth.
We would have told you to shut that pill right up your ass.
Yes.
Okay, but Memento. That's my recommendation.
I think I blew this movie quite a few times already. Interstellar, definitely. If you love science fiction.
You love Anne Hathaway and Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, because they are the leads. They are the leads, and it's for the Gen Z audience, you got a young Timothy Chalamet. You're the hero of modern cinema. It seems like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's in it. Oh yeah, but yeah, that movie is fantastic.
He was about 15 in it. He was young.
He was young, but yeah, I highly recommend it. The score is beautiful, visually is a spectacle, and I spoiled a pretty significant scene. So if you didn't see it, you'll still go see it for yourself anyway. But there's still a lot to offer for that movie, though. It's fantastic, and it's right there at that cusp of kind of being in the middle of the filmography, because he had after Interstellar, it was Dunkirk, then he had Tenet, Oppenheimer. Yeah, I would say just about in the middle of his filmography. Mm-hmm. So it was right off of the cusp of Batman. Yeah, that was 2 years after. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. Oh,
yeah, he was firing out quick back then.
There's the recommendations, and we appreciate if you came and stuck around for the whole time for this. This was definitely one we had to do, even though I was kind of cringy behind the scenes, if you know me, because I wasn't sure if this man was going to fire on all cylinders. So, Hey, but this is Unapologetically Accurate. I'm Luke.
I'm Jerry Lee.
And hey, thank you. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate it. Take care.